Welcome back to another episode of Saber Team's Tactical Corner. This time I'm going to talk to you about something called Mark 19. All right, this story took place in Korea. Um, we were running a Mark 19 range, and Mark 19 is a grenade launcher. Basically, let me show you a picture of what it looks like. It's a grenade launcher that shoots multi types of ammunition. We was running this live fire range in the DMZ, and we were qualifying with all HE. So we have Mark 19s and 50 cals mounted on our Humvees, like so, and we have to qualify with them. The wingman do, and all the gunners do. They qualify with them. So we was qualifying on them with HE rounds only on the DMZ. And by doing that, when you open up a range in the military, in any battalion as a platoon, the whole battalion or every other available unit comes down to train with you. So HE rounds are basically high explosive rounds. It's basically a hand grenade that's being shot out of a 40 millimeter canister. Almost the same as similar as the 203, but it's a lot more powerful. And not the grenade itself, but the launch capability is a lot more powerful. And I think the grenade might be a little bit more powerful too. And so we would shoot these things and they'll blow up. That nice little crump sound they'll make. And they were chain linked. The Mark 19 fires with an open bolt. And once you load it, and the round itself that's a 5.56 round right next to it. And you see it's twice the size of 5.56 rounds, about the same size as, not the same size, but the same length as a 50 cal machine gun round. So how the story goes, and this is what happened. So we're running this range. We got all our guys through the range, and they all qualified. Well, we hear on the radio that it's a unit all the way down from Youngsung down by Seoul. It's going to come up. We call them Ash and Trash unit. They were admin unit. And they needed to come out and qualify because they had all these weapons and stuff. And I guess they only get out once a year and to qualify. They don't qualify regularly. So they came up after it was another unit before them came up, and these guys came up to come and shoot. Their captain came over and said, hey, I need to qualify my guys. We're going to use our guns and get you guys. They said, we're going to get our guys qualified. I was running the ammo pit like I usually do, counting the ammo, and issued out ammo to the gunner. They got their guns mounted and everything. I had my driver and several other guys acting as safeties because that was their primary weapon, and they knew those weapons very well. And so what had happened, next thing I know, they were calling for Sergeant Cornelius to come up there. So I went up there, and the Mark 19 had a misfire, and that's usually unusual for a Mark 19 to have a misfire. And so I went out and opened the breech, let the weapon sit for a minute or two, opened the breech, and I saw that the casing came out, but it didn't have an HE round on it. That was a little puzzling for me. So the next thing I did was I ran a rod down the barrel, and not through the front, but through the back, and to see if it was clear. Well, it wasn't clear. So then I decided to look in there through the front, and I saw an HE round halfway between that barrel from the end to the middle. It was stuck in the middle. A live HE round stuck in the middle. And I was like, how did this happen? So the only thing, the remedy I could do was like, well, we got to take your gun off, and we got to put another gun up here so you guys continue to qualify. So I got my driver, and we disconnected the gun from the rack mount, and we picked it up and carried it off to the dud pit. Now keep in mind, the grenade itself, it arms itself every turn. So if we get 15 turns into that thing, even if it's not in flight, if you turn that gun around 15 times, it's going to arm itself. So we had to make sure we didn't turn the barrel or anything like that. So, and we took it over to the dud pit, set it down in the dud pit. I got on a radio, called range control, told them the range control to get in touch with EOD. EOD needs to get in touch with me, and I got a problem out here on the range. So I talked to EOD and told him I need to get you guys down here to extract a round out of a Mark 19 barrel. I didn't really think how silly that sounded. Okay. So EOD finally showed up. These guys are still shooting on the range. EOD come out there and he looks at me as like, we don't extract HE rounds out of barrels. I'm not touching that. I'm like, what do you mean? You don't have a tool to get that out? Because I'm thinking it's just like a regular bullet. He's like, no. He said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay 2 sticks of C4 on it, and I'm going to blow it up. I was like, what? I said, let me go tell the commander for the unit what you're about to do. And so I went and told their commander. He was like, what? They're not going to blow up my gun. He came running back, and he was, EOD was like, there's nothing we can do. This is a high explosive round stuck in the barrel of a Mark 19, and we're not getting it out. We have no way to get it out. So we're going to blow it up. We're going to blow up your gun. So these guys, their commander was so red, he looked like a tomato. He walked off steaming, and me and my driver, we sit there and watched them take C4. This is C4 right here. It's one stick is a pound and I think it's a pound and a quarter, one stick. And he took 2 of these and laid them across that barrel where that HE round had stopped in the barrel. And he put time fuse deck cord on it. And me and my driver, we dove down behind the berm of the dud pit, and we listened to that thing blow up. Boom! I was laughing, and we went out there and inspected. His gun was destroyed. It destroyed that gun. He picked up what pieces he had left. I don't know why he didn't disassemble the thing. At least take the feed tray off. He could have took the back plate off. He could have tucked the whole bolt symbol out of it, but he didn't. And I just carried it over there. I was just like, whatever. But they could have disassembled some of the gun parts and saved it. The only thing they had to do is just order another shell. But they didn't do none of that. The whole thing just got blown up and damaged. And he came over and looked at it, and he was so pissed. He's like, pack up, let's go. And told all his people to pack up. We're going back down to Seoul. And I was like, sir, you don't have to leave. You can use our guns to qualify on. He said, forget that. I'm done. We're out of here. Because I guess they had to figure out how they're going to explain that they go to a range and a gun got blown up. Only thing I figured and what we figured is they didn't clean those guns. And that barrel was awful dirty with rust and debris. And when that round shot through it, it just stopped. It was just too dirty. And that's what caused them to have that malfunction and misfire. And that teaches you a lesson. Crew serve weapons should be properly cleaned and maintained. But this unit, they wasn't accustomed to that. I mean, they brought their equipment up on the back of they had a vehicle, and their stuff was all in a trailer. It was like they were going to a gun show. It was so funny. I'd never seen a unit travel like that, where they had their vehicle and a trailer, and their weapons were in the trailer. So it's like, usually the weapons are, especially cruisers, they're mounted on the vehicles and or in the back of the truck with the troops or whatever. They're just like, oh, this is how we're rolling. So I guess it was a lesson learned for them that day, which was pretty funny and probably pretty surprising for them. But that is my story of Mark 19 grenade launcher in Korea. And I see you guys in the range. This story was sponsored by Saber Team Tactical. All right, see you in the range, guys.